Hi guys, to be here with a new video. In this video we are going to talk about the latest changes for Elemental Shaman and Enhancement Shaman. They changed Tempest, or at least they buffed Tempest, something I wanted. Now I need to test the implementation. I'm going to test it with you guys so you also see it. But they buffed Tempest by 50% damage. 50% is actually a big amount of damage that is buffed because it means that currently Tempest does more damage than Lightning Bolt. And I want to test some things. For example, I'm Volcanic Surge right now, okay? We have Tempest doing 487k. If I'm removing Volcanic Surge, I'll go for Electrocute, for example. It will now deal less damage. So the implementation on that is now done. So it means that Volcanic Surge has insane amount of value for Stormbringer. So you will always play with Volcanic Surge. You already probably will play Volcanic Surge because you're playing like more of a lightning build, which obviously will reduce the cast time, and the lava surges are not like really going to give you instant lava bursts, but it will give you more damage on lava burst and more damage on lightning bolt and chain lightning, which is for sure welcome, because we have here, for example, when striking more than one target, your next 3 chain lightning spells are instant, also dealing 75% increased damage. So 30%, 35%, 30% plus 75%, yeah, it does a lot of damage. So that is the possibility we have right now. So lightning bolt now does half the damage of Tempest, even less. Like it does less damage than half of Tempest. So I'm going to test it right now in PvP. For example, now I'm in PvP. It does 193. So if I'm doing a lightning bolt, it will do 320k, which is not that bad. And Tempest does. Again, I need to be in PvP for that again. 496k. So it is a bit less than how it is going to be lightning bolt being interesting whenever you have stormkeepers, whenever you are like really trying to deal a lot of damage. It's going to be very interesting. Now I'm going to try to get a Tempest, and then I'm going to try to have a stormkeeper, so we have an instant Tempest or not. So I need to test this if possible. Once we have it, we can actually test it correctly. Yeah. So we're gonna try to get it ASAP. Which is not really easy. Okay, we have Tempest now. So I need to have like Stormkeepers. Nah, Tempest is still not a instant cast, and it will deal less damage than a Stormkeeper Lightning Bolt. But I've come to the conclusion. So the damage is better right now. So we did a Tempest of 500k normal hit. It's not that bad because it's also have overload now, so they actually implemented that. Before you didn't have any overload, but it's actually an interesting, how can I say, it is interesting in the way of it has now a bit more damage. And since I came to the conclusion that you might not use it only for the damage, you might use it for getting like instant chain lightnings, and nobody can kick it because it is a protected spell. So it means that if you have Tempest and you're casting it, they cannot kick you. They can only stun you, whatever. But that aside, for example, now we have Tempest. I'm going to AoE them, and I'm going to do a full chain lightning. You see, the damage is not that bad. Like if you are like trying to get a lot of damage out, you can play around that and have a lot of damage, especially in Soul Shuffle where you are playing versus melee cleaves. People were like saying like you are very immobile or whatever. I think it doesn't really matter. I'm lagging too much to enjoy the PTR, to be fair. Like I pressed Elemental Blast like ages ago and didn't pop off. I think the balancing still needs to happen on a lot of spells, but Tempest doing 500k is, I would say, not that bad, because you would not use it as a damage dealing ability. It's not going to do insane amount of damage. It's going to do some save damage because it is not kickable, and the cast time is reduced if you're playing with like Storm Frenzy, you're playing with Volcanic Surge. It is kind of reduced, and you can reduce it even with Primordial Wave getting your splintered elements, but also your Bloodlust. You can also have Bloodlust on yourself, so the cast time is not going to be very long. At least it will be the same, like it will be same-ish, like less than Elemental Blast. So obviously, if you play around with Elemental Blast, you know how hard it is to sometimes cast it whenever you don't have buffs. But once you have a promote your wave up and your Bloodlust, Elemental Blasts are like something you can cast very quickly. Or you can play with Earthshock if you don't want to like play around the cast time. But what you have with Tempest is you have some buffs tied to it. Of course, you have a debuff. If you're critting, you're going to slow him. Now, that's not going to be the optimal way because you're still going to want to slow people with Frost Shock. But you have like a few things here and there that, for example, if you're using Tempest, your next Chain Heal or Healing Surge will be instant. It also costs no mana. So you can also play around your debuff to the enemy so it deals less damage to you. You can also gain Lightning Rod because of that, and again, Lightning Rod, if you're playing like this build, you can deal some good damage. If you're dealing like AoE, it's going to buff your Chain Lightning, which obviously is going to be interesting to do versus melees, especially if you have like Stormkeepers or whatever. It's going to overload, so it's going to deal some good damage. Although you probably will want to Lightning Bolt instead of Chain Lightning because of the damage. But you have then also the possibility to gain a lot of like Maelstrom because of it. Because again, if you have Chain Lightnings and you're doing multiple targets, your Maelstrom is going to be going very high, and you can also have more haste because of that. Your overloads, of course, with Stormbringer, you get more overloads with your Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning, which is always going to be nice. Then you have also more damage on Chain Lightning with Wotlk Surge. And then you have Awakening Storms, because again, it gives you a chance to strike your target for 41k. And every 3 times it also occurs, your next Lightning Bolt is replaced by Tempest. So it's quite good because, for example, this one, if you have your this is actually the debuff you need. Like, for example, you have one Awakening Storm, then you have your second Awakening Storm, and then you have your Tempest. So I need just to get it because it's a chance on. So now I have it, and then I have like my Tempest. So you can easily have probably, I say easy because it's not really that easy. You can easily probably make a weak aura for that. To track it if you find it interesting. So you don't really want to do a Stormkeepers whenever you have it, because it will stop your Stormkeeper from happening because of the Tempest replacing Lightning Bolt. I still think it should not be like something it replaces. It should be like just a straight up ability that it gets unlocked once you have like spent 400 Maelstrom, or once you have like the buff. So you still have Lightning Bolt being able to be used. Right now it's like it's going to replace, and sometimes you don't want to AoE, but it will make you AoE with Tempest. I still think the main build for Elemental Shaman will be Farseer. It is what it is. But now to the most important thing, we have Enhancement Shaman. I think probably likely, I mean, it is probably a given that I'm going to main an Enhancement Shaman. They changed the 4 set, so that's important. I'm going to talk about it. So the 2 set is still Stone Strike, Lava Lash, Ice Strike, and Crash Lightning deals 15% increased damage. But now activating Feral Spirit summons 1 extra Feral Spirit. It's for sure not the best, but the thing is, you can have easily 4 Feral Spirits. Now, with this, it actually caps it out at 4, maybe 5 max. Before you could have 6 Feral Spirits, which again, it augments the damage of Elemental Blast. They kind of unnerfed Elemental Blast as well, so now it's the 25% damage reduction is now gone, so that's a good thing. But let's talk about the build, right? So Totemic now works again. We finally have it because Wind Fury Totem. We had to have it to replace this totem, to get Resurging Totem, but we didn't have the totem anymore, right? But now they replaced it. I'm going to go for Stormbringer, and I'm going to read the ability for you guys. It is now increased by 50%, which is even more on Enhancement Shaman. The thing is, Enhancement Shaman is a very, very strong spellcaster, to be fair, because your Maelstrom is going to augment the damage of Tempest. So let's try to get like my stacks ASAP, so we can have a Tempest, so I can read it for you guys. I'm going to obviously try to get my my Tempest Buff ASAP. It's very hard to track though. Awakening Storms, I see here. It's one Awakening Storm. I need my Awakening Storms to be 3. Okay, I have Tempest Buff. Obviously, I used it without me wanting it to use, but I'm gonna try to get it back. Man, it's difficult to get it though. Okay, I got it. So now Tempest does 860k, and if I get like my stacks to 10, it will do 1.4 million. So if I press it, it does 1.4 million, which is quite a lot of damage. And again, it's without buffs. I didn't use my Wind Fury, my Doom Winds. I didn't use my Primordial Wave. I didn't use my badge. I didn't use my heroism. I didn't use all these things. But Tempest doing 1.5 million, 1.4 million is a lot of damage. Your Lightning Bolt, on the other hand, also does a lot of damage. It does 1.4 million critical strike. So you see the difference between Lightning Bolt and Tempest is really high. So if you're critting with your Tempest, it can be resembling as much damage as Elemental Blast. And again, I didn't have my Feral Spirits. Like I could have like very lucky Feral Spirits having, for example, obviously I need to play with Elemental Spirits for that. But I could have like Elemental Spirits with like multiple natures Feral Spirits, and it will do insane amount of damage. But again, it really depends. It really depends on the meta. I do feel like Stormbringer will be the meta for Elemental Shamans, for Enhancement Shamans. But I don't think it's like going to be busted. I think it is like going to be quite a normal power level, I would say. And you still want to have like 10 Maelstrom to be able to do a big amount of damage for Tempest, and so you can actually deal insane amount of damage. But I want to test one thing. Hopefully I can. I don't really want Legacy of the Frostwitch because it's only 5%, and yes, the reset is quite nice, but I want to play around, again, I need to be out of combat. I want to play with Elemental Spirits. The issue with Elemental Spirits is that it doesn't, like, it's either you're doing some physical damage or either you're not doing physical damage. Now it's purely like, it's nature damage, so yeah, it's interesting, but it's not going to be like, it's going to be good value for everything but Stormbringer, Stormstrike. But yeah, I'm going to show you guys the damage that it can do. So, for example, if I get like my Tempest for like ASAP, I'm going to try to get Tempest really quickly. Okay, I have Tempest. I'm going to get my Feral Spirits out, Primordial Wave. I'm going to try to get 10 stacks. And then I have my 10 stacks. The damage is really impressive. I don't know if you saw the damage, but I'm going to show you on details. And again, like, I think there's still a few things that are very bothering for me, but they might fix it. But I did a 3.8 million Tempest, guys. I don't know if you realize how much damage it is. Like, doing a 3.8 million Tempest is insane. Like, it does more damage than Elemental Blast. More safe to do so as well. It only needs Feral Spirits, and right now I only had one Lightning Wolf, I guess, or even like a Frost Wolf. I don't even know. If you want to like go back to the video to see the buffs that you got, it does some insane amount of damage. If you could actually play around your Feral Spirits, and again, you're going to try to get Feral Spirits as much as you can, and you're trying to play with this build, for example, it can work out because you have like your Elemental Blast, you have your increased damage on Lightning Bolt, which is also increasing the damage of Tempest. We have the Elemental Spirits. The only thing I don't really like is Primordial Wave right now, so I could remove it and play with something else. Because Primordial Wave has no synergy with Tempest, like I said. There's still a few things that are bothering me. For example, I think with Primordial Wave, your Tempest should be duplicated as well, which is not happening right now. The only thing that I like about Primordial Wave is that it gives you a bit more burst, like AoE wise, but it's still nerfed in PvP. So there is a chance for me just to not play with it and play with something a bit more good for my Maelstrom, for example. I could play with Swirling Maelstrom, I could play maybe with Legacy of the Frostwitch still to get like the resets, or if I want to have a more safe generating Maelstrom weapons with Storm Strike or Ice Strike, I would be playing with Elemental Assault. But yeah, I think overall it's very satisfying, and like I said, I think there's a few things that are better for Enhancement Shaman for Elemental Shaman. For example, the cleaving. You're always trying to cleave as an Enhancement Shaman anyways, so doing a Tempest on multiple targets is way easier, and you can have like some good chain lightnings. And chain lightnings on Elemental Shamans are not that bad, like on Enhancement Shaman is not that bad. Like if I try to get it ASAP, I'm gonna try to get it. I'm gonna pop every single CD because I want to have it fast. I'm gonna try to get it. I'm gonna put my... Alright. Takes a bit of time, unfortunately, to ramp up. Okay, I have it now. I'm gonna try to... Okay, and now I can have my chain lightnings, for example. I mean, it's good cleave. Like, it's something you're still going to do. And obviously, it depends on your Feral Spirits and such. So you could have a lot of damage. But overall, I kind of like it. The more I play Enhancement Shaman, the better I feel like I'm going to have fun with it. I just wish that they actually like change the trees a bit to feel a bit more satisfying. But overall, I mean, I think the AoE potential on this class is unrivaled. And again, you could be playing with a bit better management. Because I'm lagging, it's very annoying for me. But if you're doing chain lightnings on 3 targets, you're easily going to get a good amount of damage for free. And like I said, for example, my Primordial Wave, I used it and I had like 2 Tempests in a row. I couldn't use it in time, so that sucks a bit. So obviously, if you want to play with Primordial Wave, it's good. If you don't want to play with Primordial Wave, it's understandable. But overall, I really like this. Totemic is going to be another discussion about it, because I do think there is potential as well. But they want you to play Ascendance, which is a 3-minute CD for Enhancement Shaman, and Deeply Rooted Elements is not really something you are capable to activate as a Elementalist Shaman. An elementalist Enhancement Shaman, because you're not really storm striking every single occasion you want. You want to lava lash every single occasion you want to ice strike whenever you want to do a big frost shock. So there is a bit of incoherence about it. But yeah, there's a few things that we're going to have to discuss about it, and I'm going to probably review it once we have a bit more time. Unfortunately, I wanted to make multiple videos, but my daughter fell, so she is now a bit sick. So hopefully she's going to heal very fast, so we could then spam some videos. But right now, priority is for the family, which is normal. But overall, Enhancement Shaman, Elemental Shaman, good buffs. I wish they actually changed a bit on the Enhancement Shaman trees. I don't think they're going to do it. Maybe for Season 1. It depends on the outcry. But anyways, thank you for watching this video. Really appreciate you. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. And we will catch each other probably very soon in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.